bunch of misfits I ever said either.
Good morning, Misfits. You are tuning in to the 25.3 Open Recap Podcast. We're going to give away some stuff. We're going to do the leaderboards, both for 25.3 and for the entire Open. For the entire Open, those people are going to win the new Misfit Athletics gear with the new logo that no one has. So that's fun and exciting. And then we're going to talk a little bit about 25.3. Talk a little bit about the open programming in general. And then I'm not going to lie to you guys. We got a lot of podcasts to shoot this week, so we're going to fuck off and make more content for you. So this one will be on the short side because Monday, March 24th, 6 days from now, the Misfit affiliate Ulysses phase, if you want to know what that means, tune into that next podcast that we'll be dropping. You can get that in a 2-week free trial. You can check it out. Sugar WOD, Push Press, Stream Fit. Go to teammisfit.com, click sign up now, and you will see all your options for getting signed up and for that 2-week free trial. Also, Monday, March 24th, is Misfit Athletics off-season block number 1. This is the time of year where we do the strength bias and conditioning bias tracks. Honestly, the time of year where you get your open scores, you see where you slot, and we get a shitload of remote coaching applications, and we get a bunch of people to jump in. And I can tell you right now, in both of those scenarios, the absolute best thing that you can do is just do a manageable amount of work starting Monday, March 24th for an entire year with us, and you will see a significant change. If you got any friends that follow the program, have them pull up those open leaderboards. Our athletes, we move the needle. And it's not, there was a comment in Discord the other day that made me think to say this, asking if we were magicians. And it's really about whether the athlete can show up and execute for that longer period of time. That's what makes what we do special. Everything that we do is based on this concept of delayed gratification and not like, how can we sell you something flashy? Because at the end of the day, like, our reputation is going to be based on how people execute out there. So really fantastic time of year to dig into whether you do need to get stronger, do need to get fitter. Obviously, both of those things will happen. So Monday, March 24th for both brand new programs, Misfit Affiliate and Misfit Athletics. Woo! All right, now you guys say something.
Well, are we going to talk about the open workout?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the open workout. I do want someone to read
hear about my
shirt,
driving
though.
iron. Oh,
Yeah, I want someone to read my shirt.
So that sticking feathers up your butt does not make you a chicken. Is this another custom, one-off custom?
This is a custom job. I get emails like 6 times a year from Sticker Mule that I can make one of these shirts for, they're normally $19, and maybe I can make it for like $10. And in today's social media age, it's kind of interesting how people just like cook up a narrative for themselves. I am this, I am that, I wear these shoes. Therefore, you know what? If you want to be a chicken, well, I need some fucking cock-a-doodle-doo. I need you laying some eggs. I need you walking across the street when you're not supposed to.
I got bad news for you, man. Even you can do all that and you are still not a chicken.
That is true. But I at least need to see some chicken-like behavior instead of just shoving feathers up your ass. So I thought it would be necessary for people to just be reminded that your actions speak louder than your words. And I think that's honestly a pretty timely thing when we're about to
time of year
jump into these leaderboards. So the way that we're going to do this, we are going to read the top 10 men, women, and CrossFit MF / Misfit Gym Portland athletes for 25.3. We're going to do a drawing for all of those. Then we will do the same thing for the entire Open. And those are the people that will win 3 t-shirts and a hoodie with our brand new logo that no one else can buy. A little bit of fun. You'll be able to buy them eventually. But
I haven't seen this hoodie.
No, you haven't. It might be heathered too. You might be about to freak out.
do that to me. Tease me like that with a Heather job.
All right. We're going to do 25.3 Misfit women first. 1307 for Elena Pomerisi. That is 2 victories for Elena. Congratulations, Elena Pomerisi, Paige Semenza, Leah Murphy, Blair Cheney, Peyton Forsyth, Kelly Clark, Kenzie Christie, Lindsay Hoffman, Ashley Drabicki, and Adrian Winges. Let's get that baby rolling.
You doing this, Seb? Make sure the people
Seb,
know
you're
not
muted.
cheating. And you're muted. Jesus, what is this, 2020?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't speak much. That's why this happens.
That was
But
just a
look,
drum roll.
I'll make up for it. I did this. That's the wrong one.
Holy fucking spin
Yes,
wheel.
dude. Look at
There
that
we
thing.
go. Ready?
I'm ready.
Oh.
And if the same person wins again or they're sponsored, they're not going to get anything. I'm just going to throw that out there. 7, Kenzie Christie. My email is coach@misfitathletics.com. Shoot me an email. We will get you set up. Not Kenzie Riley. We will get you set up with some gear. All right, 25.3, gentlemen. Kyle Moline with the 1230. Very impressive there. Way to go. Kyle Moline, Austin Spencer, Brad Miller, Adam Selmani, Brandon True, Kyle Cross, Chris Colvin, Mike Kern. Old Mikey Kern coming in from the... I should know this because he's my athlete.
I thought you were reading it.
13. No, I only put the top one on there when I copied and pasted over.
Oh.
13 and change, I believe.
All right.
Taylor Aitken and Stephen Milanese. All right, Seb, what do we got? Look at this fucking thing. You guys better be on YouTube right now. This is a beautiful wheel we got going. Oh, come on. Now, spin it again. Spin it again.
Who was it, Kern?
No.
Was that going to be a 4? What a
Is it 3 or
fucking
4?
troll wheel. That's a 4.
Oh, Adam Selmani. Adam, well done. Coach@misfitathletics.com. Shoot me an email. We will get you set up. All right, here we go. 25.3. Misfit Jim Portland. Paul Stevens, Hunter Wood, Kyle Pinkham, Michael Leone, Nick Whitaker, Ryan Bernache, Lizzie Bell Bruno, Nicole Dubois, Rachel Rogers, and Jack Strum. I'm not sure if Jack's score is with the 92 pounds or with the 95 pounds. So there could be an asterisk next to that name.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I don't know. He did tell Kyle in a direct message that he was going to redo it. So
I like it.
Kyle,
I'm mostly
for
joking.
Context, Kyle and Jack used either the same setup or the same weight plate assignment, and it turns out kilos aren't pounds. So an 88 or a 90-pound barbell is, man, I'd rather snatch that than a 95-pound bar. That's for damn sure. So
someone I think thought that 3 pounds off means you only add 3 pounds, but that's per plate.
Yeah, well, I mean, the entire arithmetic that went into that was suspect at best. But to Kyle's credit, Kyle did that workout twice in like, I don't know how many hours. I didn't know how many hours. Yeah, it wasn't
I think like literally 3 hours.
And was like, I was like, fuck, I didn't know what his time was. I barely eked him out, but I would absolutely not have in fucking round 2. That's fucking stupid.
Yes,
he had a killer open.
Yes, he did. All right, what do we got, Seb? Nope.
Come on, is it me?
Don't worry about it.
I want the new one. I haven't even seen it yet. Give me that, Heather.
Better not be 2, because that's fucking Hunter.
Yes, come on, give me the hoodie.
There's a new tee and hoodie on its way right now for you. Don't you worry. Rachel Rogers, congratulations. Yes. Well done, well done, well done. So we need to get Nick Whitaker, Jen Bossy, and Rachel Rogers some gear. Hunter, you're also reminded. All right. Now, this is riveting podcasting that's going on right here, especially if you're listening. But we're going to do this all over again. So we are going to do, I'll be more rapid fire this time. So this is for the open. This is across the whole thing. Now, Hunter, how do you feel about the leaderboards at some point where you were against each other and now they're just worldwide rankings compared to one another? So like you don't get a point for first place, like that kind of thing, which is weird. Because like the custom leaderboard for CrossFit MF is like you versus Kyle versus Mike versus Rachel, but the hashtag ones are not. It just sorts their worldwide ranking. And there's no way for me to fucking change that. So it is what it is.
Yeah. But, sorry, what was the question though?
I don't think I had one. All right. Here we go. Lindsay Hoffman, Elena Pomerisi, Blair Cheney, Leah Murphy, Peyton Forsyth, Adrian Winges, Ashley Drabicki, Mary Wallach, Meredith Reyes, and Emma Hagstrom. You will notice that I removed all of the sponsored athletes from this list to give more people an opportunity to win. Those are the top 10 athletes from the Open. All right, Seb, what do we got? I will allow a double winner because this is a different gear pack and because this person came in first place. Lindsay Hoffman, congratulations once again. I already have your information from the last time. You will be receiving a gear pack, although I'm going to send you some information about the like sizing and what the garments actually are. But congratulations on first place and on winning twice. Gentlemen, Brandon True, Brad Miller, Adam Salmani, Kyle Moline, Taylor Sanders, Stephen Milanese, Anthony Greco, Salvador Reyes, Kyle Cross, and Taylor Aitken. Let her rip. Oh my God, again? So it's just the fucking winner again?
Good.
All right, we'll take it. Seb, do you rig this? You got some fucking coding background I don't know about? What's going on here?
I got some DMs.
I mean, yeah. Can you fucking see that? You see that wheel? Have any idea
all
how
right,
long it took me to code that bitch into the background?
Brandon True, well done. You also won twice. Congratulations. You get the new gear.
Winner and
you know what though?
Selected correct person.
Can we got to talk about this for a second. Brandon, the cool huge back logo, you're going to cut that thing up to make another one of your bra t-shirts and it's going to bother me. So we're going to send you 3 t-shirts if you could keep one of them intact. That would be just going to say miss on it.
Encourage the behavior you want. So listen, you're going to rip all
it's just going to say miss on it.
I'm actually just going to give you more things to rip in half.
Well, I was going to send him 3 anyways. I'm just hoping for maybe just cut 1. I mean, cut none. That would be ideal, but I know that's probably not going to happen. Because I know last year we had that big back logo with the snake and the 24, and he just hacked that thing right off. Yeah. All right. Well done. Open. This one's a little disappointing. This first place winner here for CrossFit MF. I thought maybe somebody had you, Hunter, but they didn't. CrossFit MF leaderboard: Hunter Wood, Kyle Pinkham, Michael Leone, Rachel Rogers, Lizzie Bell Bruno, Paul Stevens, Nick Whitaker, Luke Ravenel, Nicole Dubois, and Jennifer Bossy.
Wait, Luke?
He was higher up too after the first 2.
Yeah, that barbell. We got to get him. Got to get him eating some sandwiches in between sets.
Ooh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very fit dude.
All right, Seb. If it says 1 again, we know you rigged it. You and Hunter together.
Oh,
Come
shoot.
on,
Dude,
come
what
on,
the fuck
come
is
on.
this?
Let's just
What
do
is
one more.
this?
Do one more.
Gear,
Do
more
one
gear.
more.
Of course we're gonna do
I
one
need
more.
it. No, come on.
Okay, here's a question. Well, I'm going to give it away. Rachel Rogers, you won twice.
Fuck.
Rachel Rogers, you win the brand new Misfit gear that no one has and a little goodie from the gift shop. Congratulations. In all seriousness, tried to make that somewhat entertaining because we've been spinning wheels for 5 minutes now. You guys are awesome. Really cool to keep track of people. This is one of my favorite times of year because there actually is a clear, concise place to go to check in on the Misfits and how they're doing. And it's just, I take a lot of pride in checking those scores and seeing how you've improved year after year. And I'm excited for, and a lot of these people qualified for their respective online semifinals. So, excited to see how you guys do there. I think that'll be a good measuring stick for people to figure out where they're truly at if they have aspirations of going further, sort of with their journey. All right, Hunter, 25.3. What did you think of 25.3?
I think it might have been the best programmed open workout in the last 5 years. Maybe all time. I haven't done like a full sweep of the all the open workouts, but just from I think it hit all the boxes. You get workouts that hit 2 out of the 3 boxes. It's it's heavy and high skill, but that kind of removes a segment of the community from being able to really get after it. You get something that's just like pure engine that doesn't have either a skill or a heavy component, and that that obviously lets everybody play, but you see a kind of weird shuffling of the leaderboard with people who will at the top who won't be after another workout that swings back in the other direction. But I just think it was a really nice blend of loading, kind of the metabolic demand that puts the fittest in that really shitty 10 to 12 minute kind of time domain. A 20-minute cap allows even some athletes who, like, we had a few athletes at our gym who were like, yeah, I finished it, and it was like 1958, and it was just like awesome. Like, you put that carrot out there for that level athlete to reach for, and they try to finish it. I think there was enough skill within the wall walk, that obviously for a high level athlete, that's not exactly a skill, although I have seen some very unique ways to do wall walks out of even the fittest people on the planet. And then just like having the barbell movements that still require a level of skill and a level of strength, but not like the highest level of skill or the highest level of strength. So I think it just blended together the right amount of skill, work capacity, loading, all the things you kind of want to see in like a final event of the Open. And obviously, anytime you talk about an individual workout, you're ignoring how it fits into the rest of the, the other 3 tests or the other 5 tests, however many it happened to be. But I thought this one was cool. I thought the format was really unique and cool, and how we, you kind of bounce back and forth between a pretty manageable set of wall walks for most, but even athletes who struggle with that movement, it's not so overwhelming that it just completely crushes their workout. So, and I even said it when we talked about the workout, like 25 deadlifts, like 10, 10, 5 in my head. And that's just the initial reaction, but in practice, even the fittest are doing small sets like that. The fittest are doing quick singles on the cleans and small sets on the barbell, and it just like goes to show that like it's not about loading the barbell as heavy as possible to make it a good test, or just blasting athletes with something that has like a wow factor. It's like very manageable sets, very manageable loading, even for your average affiliate athlete. I just thought it was a really well written test.
Well, and context is everything. And even we need to be reminded of that because of the endless combinations that are possible. So in a 12 to 16 minute workout for the masses, we know what 21 deadlifts at 225 feels like, but we know it in the context of a 2, 3, 4, 5 minute workout where we are using, energy systems that can be tapped out, where we're using, musculature that's sort of different than what we would be using in this context. So if you were to make yourself feel that way in this workout after that row, it would very clearly be a mistake to do that to yourself, right? You're going to buy yourself a few extra seconds and then you're going to go lose them pretty quickly, maybe even just in the transition plus wall walks that are there. So I really enjoy that. We already talked about it last week, so I won't like continue to talk about it too much, but seeing, I don't know if they chose those guys on purpose for this workout, but seeing them do it and seeing the slight nuance in their strategy in the workout. And then once again, like Dallin made the other two look slow. And I believe all three of them were like top 10 in the world in that workout. And it was literally just, he looked more controlled. He knew when it was time for singles. He knew right off the bat that, again, pushing himself to 25 deadlifts, like he could have done that, but it probably would have added 30 to 45 seconds to his workout. So I liked that just because that gives, again, people more context of the way that you can attack a workout, because it's so rare that athletes of that level are doing the same workouts as everybody else. So I really did enjoy that part of it. And then I think part of this, and we talk about it year after year, is just a nod to, if you're going to do a local throwdown, if you're going to be in charge of programming something big, testing workouts is so incredibly important, because these slight changes are what create the style of workout where Hunter says something like, this was like so well programmed, right? Like, we don't know how many wall walks it originally had, or what the weights were, or what the reps were. And like, there's usually a board somewhere around me where we're programming for a competition. And even though we've been doing this for 15 years and we write workout after workout after workout after workout all year long, again, there's so many combinations. You're really trying to nail who are the people that are actually going to do this workout. If the athlete IQ is lower, then the workout can't be as hard, because people just make it hard for themselves. So there's so many factors that go into this. And I think it's just a nod to, hey, it's very clear that they do a good job of testing these workouts. It's so rare. Like, we did the preview podcast and we talked shit about 2 workouts over the course of 14 years that they didn't do the best job of programming, right? So like, it's funny, and that could have just been another, like, an athlete IQ thing, or the level of athlete that tested it was just slotted into the right spot. So I think this workout was probably tested and tweaked like they should be, to elicit the type of response. And then, holy shit, do I love a 4 to 5 minute spread on a workout between really fit people, like really, really, really fit people. I like seeing that someone that you would be lined up next to at semifinals, like, beat them by 45 seconds in a 10-minute, 12-minute workout. I love that, because so often the open is this race of like eking out an extra rep or two. And I like a little bit of a workout that's a separator. That's like, because beating somebody by a minute, that's a beat down in like actual competition terms.
Yeah, especially at a high level where it's like
Right.
it's like, it's not like, wow, as that athlete, you have to go think to yourself, like, did I, like, I'm not a minute less fit than that person, but I might be a minute less smart than that person.
Well, yeah.
And in this kind of workout, that really enhances it. And I think, like, the nice thing too is, like, again, thinking more on the like affiliate side, it's like, I think most athletes are smart enough to know that, like, hey, this is not a short workout. Don't sprint the rowing. And as long as you don't do that the rest of the workout is kind of going to take care of itself from a pacing perspective. You're going to like, it kind of paces the athlete for you. You can make a mistake early on, but like a 225 deadlift for 25 reps for the affiliate athlete, like there aren't that many who are going to try to like, I'm just going to try to hang on to this thing. And I think that that's good too, because it like, for the fittest, there does have to be a lot of like, there should be some kind of computational power between the ears that goes on to make sure you get the right workout or the right score. But for the the rest of us, basically, it's like the workout kind of does that for you, and I think that's important for athletes who are not trying to be competitive in the sport, where it's like it's nice to have that information to know like, hey, you can kind of math your way through this workout, but it requires not only like a level of intuition about yourself, but also like a level of fitness. Like you have to have a certain level of fitness to be able to pace workouts. Because without it, like you just like your conditioning is going to be what slows you down versus like your approach to the workout. And that's the case for the most of the athletes that we coach at the high level. It becomes a little bit more of a math problem.
Yeah, for sure. I had a tangent and I lost it. I had a thought. It was floating around. Yeah, so I think the only thing that before we talk about the open in general and the programming as a whole, that I want to talk about is for almost everyone, the wall walks were actually the separator in this workout after watching it and seeing what it took for someone, because the intensity in between the wall walks looked fairly similar for a lot of people.
A lot of similar times on barbells.
Exactly. And the rowing at the highest level mattered. It was at the highest level, it was the rowing, right? It was just, you're at 1200, I'm at 1300, I win, that sort of thing. But in the middle, and honestly on the fringe of the high level, the wall walks were so incredibly important. And I don't think that people always understand how they could improve something like that, because what you need is shoulder mobility, technique, and upper body endurance. Like for instance, if you listen to the podcast regularly, you know that I do a lot of strict press, bench press, things of that nature. I want to strict press 225 pounds in the year 2025. I have pretty good wall walk technique. I have excellent shoulder mobility. I didn't touch them. I didn't touch wall walks for, I don't even know how long, a very long time. We did an affiliate workout with wall walks in it, and old shoulder press Drew loved some wall walks. I was fucking flying. They did not hurt. There was not, you know what I mean? So I had access to my strength through mobility. I had the strength and the endurance because I struggle with muscle endurance. So I work a lot of volume in my programs. And I also like, that's one cool thing about being a coach. Like there's some osmosis that goes down. You get so obsessed with human movement that like you really, unless you like sort of fall apart in the workout, you usually move pretty well because you can just tell when you're being a fucking bozo.
Yeah.
In the workout. So I think a lot of people will overdo the amount of wall walks they do versus addressing, how do I do them? Do I have access to the range of motion that I need so that they are easy? And do I work on the fact, if I don't have upper body endurance, if I don't have that pressing endurance, if I don't have that stability, like that's what's going to help you. That's what's going to change there. We have to attack these problems from a bunch of different angles. And when you find out which part of it is the biggest problem, you put more eggs into that basket. That's how we figure out these things. That's how we solve in a remote coaching setting. That's how we solve when an affiliate member walks up to us and says, I'm sick of this shit. And it's like, okay, come see me in open gym. Show you how to get your shoulders opened up, get you in a better position. This is what we're looking for in the movement. Doesn't mean you can do it yet, but like you need to know all of those things versus, okay, it's EMOM time and I'm going to move like shit. And it's like, hey, guess what? You start to deadlift, you start to row, you start to clean, you start to snatch. It's not going to feel good again. Right.
Yeah.
So like that was something that popped into my head while watching this. It's like very clear that some people weren't able to express their fitness in that place.
Yeah, it's man, I'm just gonna sound like a broken record. This is just like it to me. It's such fundamental like first principles thinking. It's like you're a mechanic, you want to make this fucking sick car, and you're like, okay, we're gonna work on the engine, we're gonna get a sick paint job, we're gonna get the right tires, we're gonna get the right window tint. It's like this thing is sick. It's like you didn't put any gas in the car. It's like that, and it's like it doesn't fucking matter how much work you've done to improve your stamina, your positioning or whatever. If you don't, the gas in my metaphor here is your range of motion, your access to the positions that you need to get in. Like the number of people I heard just like, oh, my back is wrecked after 25.3. It's like I know why your back is wrecked. It's because every single time we have a deadlift day or a pull day from the floor, coach tells you to get your back, like tighten your back up. We need to work on your positioning and your setup, whether that's a mobility limitation, a positional awareness thing, or whatever. And it's like, here's the answers to the test. Like, are you going to study? No, I'm not. Why did I do poorly on the test? Like, and it's just one of the most frustrating things as a coach, because it's like, I see the problem, and this is a bit of the way that I think about things. It's like, I see the problem. Here's the solution. Like, if you do it, this will get better. You didn't do it. It didn't get better. You're still complaining that your back hurts. The shoulder stamina is not there. It's like, why would it be if you didn't address like the first principle, the underlying problem, which is that you do not have access to the ranges of motion that you need to get into positions to do things safely. And it's like, you go ahead, work around it. But like if you're at a competition and you're trying to work around that, like, got it. Like you gotta do what you gotta do to collect points. But if you're like an affiliate athlete or you're an affiliate coach listening, and it's like you got athletes who are complaining about that, or you're an athlete who frequently complains about the same fucking thing all the time, like have you actually done what you need to do to improve that? Whether it's learning how to hinge properly, learning how to squat and control your midline, improving your shoulder range of motion, and then like slowly progressing to develop strength through it. It's like the best case scenario, you just get a bad score. Worst case scenario, like the chickens will come home to roost with an injury at some point.
And it's really just a nod to like, why do we need coaches? Why do we need accountability? Why do we need these things that we might already kind of know the answer to, maybe, buried in our subconscious or something like that? Like, some of the stuff we're talking about is more nuanced and complicated, but in so many instances, what we're talking about is quite simple. Like, the overarching thing that we're talking about is general physical preparedness, which is short, medium, long, lift some weights, stretch, take, rest days when you're supposed to, shit like that. So, yeah, just a reminder. And it's that time of year where, like, either you saw enough hope in what you're doing, or the opposite, you're sick of your own shit of like, I'm excited now, but I won't be
shit.
Hunter is definitely sick of your shit. Maybe I'm excited now, but I'm never excited in August or October or September. Like that, making some sort of change related to that and buying into delayed gratification to bring us all the way back to the beginning that's it. That's really where it's at. Thoughts on overall open programming. And it's kind of tough. I'll set this up. It's a little tough because for the average person, all of these workouts were medium to long. But for the best, they weren't. They were definitely different, right? They were like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, which is a spread at least.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I do have thoughts on it and this goes to a bit of how I've shifted my mentality for programming at the affiliate level when it comes to short workouts. Short workouts are tough to make accessible for everybody because they rely on a certain degree of output that an athlete has to inherently have. And like the ability to do Fran fast relies on like a certain degree of strength, power output, and just ability to overall move fast with like or to be scaled so phenomenally well that we can still get that person into that like 3 to 6 minute time domain and feel like death with two like medium skill, low to medium skill movements, right? It's difficult to do that and make it a really good test for that person. Which is why something like last year's open workout, burpees and dumbbell snatches, I thought was really good, because it's like this is something that is accessible to athletes in kind of that short-ish time frame, shorter than that, and you just have to, it just has to be programmed so well. But then it isolates the other end, the fittest athletes who like we saw Colton Mertens did 25.2 the way that I do Fran. And like it's taken me a long time to be able to get to a place where I can do my barbell is set directly under the pull-up bar. I do 21 thrusters. Before that bar hits the ground, I hop up. I'm trying to cycle these things. And maybe even if I'm feeling good on the set of 9, I'm like pulling the bar down, right? And it's like Colton Mertens did that with 54, barbell reps, 54 gymnastics reps, double unders. And like he went as like borderline as fast as gravity allowed him to go. And like he finished the workout hands on the knees for a handful of seconds and walked over to the camera. And it's like for the fittest athletes on the planet, to get them to get into that extremely short time domain requires that the opposite end of the spectrum, the average to below average, quote unquote, CrossFitter, is by nature going to be in that like 5 to 8 to 10 minute time domain. And when we're talking about writing a test for hundreds of thousands of people, like I think that's just kind of the nature of the beast as far as doing that. And you could do 7 minutes of burpees, like that sucks balls. That does the trick. You could do max calorie row in 5 minutes, but like there's also the showmanship element and the like, wow, that's a really cool workout. It's like we can make something simple that's short and kills everybody, but we want to make sure it's a well-rounded test. We want to make sure the workout provides athletes with the opportunity to showcase their skills and their fitness. And the thought is that like we can write workouts that put our fittest athletes in that 2 to 5 minute time domain that is just pure pain and misery. But unless we scale the rest of the athletes exceptionally well, we have to be willing to accept that like a short workout for them has to be long enough for them to just like experience the metabolic demand that comes along with it. And it's a weird thing to say, like for the less fit athletes in a lot of ways, that they need a slightly longer workout to get the right stimulus, but we see it often enough where it's like we can do a 30-second bike sprint day, but athletes who don't have either the body mass or the power output to put a hurting on the bike, for example, it's like it's just physically, mechanically impossible for that athlete to go hard enough in a fixed time domain. It has to be variable to some degree, and a lot of times that just means the less fit athletes go a little bit longer than the fitter. So I definitely understand that point. I think that's the rationale that I would use to say like that is what it is. The second workout, I think, had that the power output element that was required, even if it took somebody 12 minutes to do the workout. Like we're seeing athletes doing 5-10 sets of thrusters at 135, which is like kind of by nature of the workout puts people in that like ATP kind of pathway, glycolytic pathway, where it still requires like that sort of gas tank power output sort of vibe. They just happen to be doing it for 12 minutes.
I
understand that concern.
I was thinking about it, and I think it's okay the way that it was done, I think it's okay for the main reason of how the hell are you supposed to program for hundreds of thousands of people?
Yeah.
Like that's a crazy,
Right.
like anytime we write any program, the very first question about whether it's appropriate or not is who's doing this, right? Like, and that's, writing a competition and doing the, the team version and the scaled version. That's all of our programs that we do. It's incredibly important. So where my mind went was, how much work was there? And there was about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15 minutes of actual work in all of those. And those are very different time domains. And like, I don't know if the first one was truly long enough, but like as an affiliate owner, like, thanks for not making it too much longer. Like that's definitely a consideration. And I don't know if that's 16, 17, 18, 19 minutes long, how much different is the leaderboard? So like, are we, sort of checking that box anyways? Because there was a lot of work getting done in that workout, which is what we're looking for in that style this time of year in that time domain.
Yeah, and I mean the fittest again. There is a consideration of like, well, like how many reps is the fittest athlete going to do in this workout? It's like, do we need the fittest? If does the do we have to have the fittest athlete on the planet do 200 clean and jerks and 200 burpees in order to make that an effective workout, and so that the affiliate athlete can do 70 reps of each? It's like, I would argue not. It's like 15, the difference of 15 and 20 minute. And what is interesting is like for the fittest athletes on the planet, so your top 50s, it's a 15-minute workout, so we can classify that as long for at least the purpose of the open. It's a 4 to, we'll say 5 to 8 minute workout for the second event, and then similar like a 10 to 12 minute for the third. So I think you get exactly what you want from the fittest as far as testing kind of like a variety of energy systems, a little bit of skill, a little bit of ability to handle some weight. Not so much for the very fittest as from the loading perspective, but like you get that kind of short, medium, long time domain for your fittest athletes, and then like kind of remind the rest of the community that like, this is a GPP program, and it's like, it is very possible to make this a short workout, but we have to have a lot of components of your fitness dialed in order to make that so. And it's not, the second workout people didn't take 12 minutes to do because there just wasn't enough time. It's because it's like, you're missing a skill. We're missing an element of fitness that needs to be addressed. And this wasn't a 12-minute workout. It was just like, how much of the work can you get done? How much does your skill and strength limit you in this workout? So,
yep.
Yeah, I think
for sure.
A lot of different ways to look at that.
The question that everyone keeps asking, and there's the memes about, and I understand, is the like not testing strength. They didn't not test strength. That's for sure.
To
but
whoever
what
asked
I
that, how many sets did it take you to do that last barbell in 25.2?
To me, it's only a problem if they never do, right? Like, and there needs to be a part A or a part B at some point. Doesn't need to be next year. Like every single year, we don't have an opportunity in the open, because that's what I've always liked about
just
it.
in the open, you mean? Not in like...
Okay. Yeah, I want it to come back at some point. I want it to be lingering the way that we sort of felt about the regionals programming back in the day. What is a problem to me is if they don't weed those people out at the top of the leader. I mean, I mean the top. There are people at the top of the leaderboard that are, I don't want to throw any shade. I mean, they're mid-level semifinals athletes, which is fucking incredible, but they're not the top of the online semifinal leaderboard. So it's like, will that be tested in a way where like, hey, this is a part of our sport, and you would just assume that like they have less people than quarterfinals, they have the opportunity to like sort of bear down and do, simple programming in the gym. Like they're gonna make them either lift moderately heavy weights a bunch, which I love, or potentially see a 1-rep max or a ladder or something like that.
Yeah, and I think the easy argument there is like, well, the Open, it's 3 workouts. We're trying to test like your broad general physical preparedness. If you're going to argue that there's no strength, again, I'm going to ask you how many sets it took you to do your last set of thrusters. And if it was one set, if your answer is I did 15 unbroken thrusters at 95 or 135.85, it's like fantastic. You have another opportunity here in a couple of short weeks to showcase. Well, undoubtedly you'll get to test your strength, whether it's in a traditional 1 rep max or X rep max fashion, or you can be damn sure you're going to see a 275 clean and jerk or a 225 snatch or something like that. And it's like, you'll get that opportunity. You can't, again, if you want to just be tested in the Open, like, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, there's a reason there are multiple stages to the competition and opportunities for you to compete. Just because it didn't happen in the first 3 weeks of the competitive season, it's like, that sounds like a you problem more so than a programming problem.
Yeah.
But I do absolutely agree that, like, if we never see a part B or the opportunity to go heavy, like, that's a fun experience for the affiliate and the affiliate level athletes. So we don't want to get rid of that. But to say it's going to happen every year, it's like, well, then we just kind of get into a redundant pattern of like, well, that's one of the 3 workouts. So, and that doesn't make sense either.
And if it's, let's say it's 2,000 people, the person that's in 5th gets the lift and they drop to 45th. Changes nothing. I would rather see the person that was in 1,750th place through their GPP than them being kicked out and Mr. Strong Person with the shitty scores being jumped in. You know what I mean? Like, this is the sport of fitness. So it's pretty easy for me to justify that with that asterisk of, I agree with nothing I'm saying if they never do a max lift. You give me 3 a decade, 4 a decade, whatever it is, then you are holding true to the definition of fitness. And I think that's important. So hopefully we see it again.
Would you be satisfied with like a workout where it's like a Metcon, it's 15 minutes and the barbell gets progressively heavier, you know, like the toes to bar, double under toes to bar squat clean, where there's like, you know, a time hack and the weight gets heavier and like eventually
those are
capped by your
beautiful
strength.
because you can't get there without the strength and the GP, like the fitness. Those are perfect. Those are amazing. I would be very happy with one of those because everyone's basically doing the same workout, even though the workouts are entirely different. All right. Well, we said we were going to go short and we did not. We have some programming podcasts to record, so keep your eyes out for the upcoming Misfit affiliate phase. Again, you can head to teammisfit.com, click sign up now, and you will have a choice between a 2-week free trial at StreamFit, SugarWOD, or Push Press. MisfitAthletics.com or the link in bio. Honestly, link in bio on Instagram for all this stuff. And you can head to Fitter to get 2 weeks for free going into off-season block 1. Make sure you head to discord.gg/misfitathletics. Get signed up for our free community so you can communicate with us and your fellow Misfits on the program that you follow. I'm looking forward to some old Misfits coming back, a bunch of new Misfits, all of the remote coaching applications that are going to be coming through. That list isn't very long, by the way, in terms of openings for coaches. So make sure you fill out that application at misfitathletics.com. The sooner you do that, the higher you are up on the list to get matched with a coach. And yeah, we'll get you those programming podcasts and get back to your regularly scheduled random rants from us next week.